I was able to connect the. I was
She
connecting
is
the
making
dots.
us familiar with the poetess in a way. She's making us familiar.
Finally, I'll come
She
to the
said that
point.
if you do not know, then I'm telling you a bit about.
Actually,
Yeah.
you have to defamiliarize the topic. We are already familiar. My only question is,
Okay, sir. Okay.
report is already there. Don't be auto.
Your thesis has been read.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Each and everything has been finalized. What do you conclude? The
Yeah,
original
I
question
conclude
was,
that like she committed suicide at a very young age, and she was not even bothered about her young children who were very young, and she was she was taken by the trap of her mind. So it's all about the mind and ego game. We are the victim of our own circumstances, our own mind, and if we are able to control our mind, we can change our life. It's all in our belief system. So there
Okay.
is nothing out there.
That is very right. Actually, your topic is uh, poetry as evidence of trauma, right?
Yes, sir.
So, do you think that the poems of Sylvia Plath end up with trauma, or does it give to some kind of catharsis, or some kind of liberation, or some kind of redemption, or do we find a kind of safety valve, or do you find a kind of salvation, a kind of relief, a kind of joy, a kind of ecstasy when we read her poems? Because if we remember Longinus, he says, if we remember Horace, he tells us a poem must bring about the combination of instruction and delight both. Right. We
Yes.
don't read poem just for trauma. We don't agree with Plato who says that poetry is mother of life. We go by Aristotle who says poetry is the greatest representation of reality, right? It is the most mimetic art, right? So my point is, when we are talking about such a great, legendary and such a masterly poetess like Sylvia Plath, who represents the modern ethos. So when we read her, do you find that her poems end up with trauma, with pain, with anxiety? Because when we read Wordsworth, he says in Tinternaway, a still sad music of humanity. So a poem or great literature cannot end up with a kind of, sadness or with a kind of trauma. From trauma, how Sylvia Plath and her protagonists emerge. What is the emergence, right? What is the positivity, right? Do you get me?
Yes, I am
Right?
getting you,
So
sir.
please
Along with
citing some poems
yes,
that
yes.
you have cited in the thesis,
Yeah.
please you let us believe that how trauma ends up with a different kind of experience for audience,
Yes,
right?
In
like
a
you.
nutshell, he's trying to ask you like,
Yeah, I got it.
do the
Got
poems have
it.
the cathartic effect?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Yeah, along
yeah,
with the
yeah.
traumatic
I
effect.
have made it very clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are
free,
very
free
clear.
from that.
Yeah, yeah.
Along, yes. Obviously, her poems also gives cathartic effect along with the traumatic. Like, for instance, in Daddy, like in Lady Lazarus, in the
Yeah,
lines
yeah.
that I rise out of the ashes every year. Rise out of the ashes.
Yeah, yeah.
So that these lines depicts that along with the traumatic, she has given the readers a kind of liberation that she is not. She's a very that kind of. So,
Be comfortable.
Ah,
You're telling.
be comfortable.
Take your
so
time.
every year she rise out of her ashes. So Lady
Yeah,
Lazarus
yeah.
and then Daddy and Ariel are some of the collections. Like in Ariel, she is depicting that Ariel horse and was riding and going above. So there is obviously and definitely the kind of cathartic experience is there.
Okay, nice, nice. Which are the critics? Because when we were talking about psychoanalysis, we have, iconic figures and we have great stalwarts in the domain of psychoanalysis. So, which famous critics you have quoted to
Yep.
vindicate and substantiate your argument? Can you name some
Yes,
critics?
yes. Freud is obviously he was the originator
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
psychoanalytic
yeah,
theory.
yeah.
So there is a lot of work done by the
Which book by Freud you have read and you have cited?
there are many books like history, studies of hysteria, theory of sexuality,
Nice.
so many books. And Melanie Klein, Fairbairn, there were so many advocates of the psychoanalytic theory who was very well able to relate to
Okay.
them.
Have you cited Carl Jung?
Yeah, Carl Jung.
Okay, so what is the difference between Freudian and the theory of Carl Jung?
Carl Jung actually, he was the advocate of repressed theory, like she used to repress her emotions
Yeah.
in her psyche.
Yeah.
So Freud, using the psychoanalytic theory and psychoanalytic analysis, was able to find out the findings that there were memories repressed in the unconscious mind. He was the advocate of unconscious mind. So unless you will bring them to the conscious, you will not able to go to the root cause of the problem, and it is very much must to go to the unconscious recesses of the mind. So.
Okay, Shalini, do you think Sylvia Plath talks about herself, or does she talk about the humanity? Through her poems, does she talk about her personal life
Yes.
or as individual, or does Sylvia Plath as individual represent the whole humanity? Do you think this is the problem of the whole humanity?
Yes, sir.
Because had it not been the case, why do we read Sylvia Plath? Right?
Yes, she very much talked about confessional poetry. I have given a chapter on confessional poetry.
Yeah.
So through confession, she was able to all the details of her art because of this confession poetry. She was able to quote through unread journals and letters depicts that she was able to show her personality, and we are able to get very much. And to humanity, as you are saying, that as humanity in general, there is a great message that she was victim of her own circumstances, not the people, not her husband, not her father, and not her mother, as in quoted in all theses. She was in trap of her own belief system, her own mind, and all peoples outside are actually projectors. They were projecting her inner, what is suppressed. Actually, there is a shadow self, as Carl Jung said. The shadow self is buried, and the people are nothing but the projectors on the screen. Whatever movie you play, they are just the projectors. People, she did not change her projector, and she was changing the screen. Like earlier, it was with her father, and then her husband, and then mother. All through her life, she was a victim of her mother, and she was pleasing her mother, and then the society. So she was not changing the projector, and problem was there in the projector.
Do
so
you
people,
find some Indian poet or writer who has taken up the similar theme of trauma? And so, do you find comparison and parallel
Yes,
with
sir,
Sylvia Plath in Indian
Virginia
writing
Woolf,
English?
Woolf,
Indian
yeah.
writing in English.
Okay, Kamla Das.
Kamala Das, yeah, yeah. Do you remember some poem of Kamala Das where you
I
find a parallel with Kamala Das and Sylvia Plath?
Kamla Das I haven't quoted in my thesis,
Okay,
so I don't
okay,
remember.
nice, nice. So, what is the limitation of your thesis? You have said many things. Did you remain something unsaid, unwritten? Because we cannot write everything within the given time and space,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So, what is unsaid is more important because we are the people of deconstruction and postmodernism, right? So, what is unsaid, what is unwritten, right?
Sir, there is lot
You
is
can
yeah,
urge
yeah,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
Even the lot is said as per me, but still there are lot of the dimensions to be still to be explored. There can never be the end, and the more you research, you'll definitely get new dimensions. Like earlier, I was thinking that it's not. I'm not getting the. I'm not satisfied that it's already overworked. But then when I researched and I did my lot of research, and I got, and then still, if anyone go into the depths, there is never psychoanalytic studies is that dimension. It's never going to end, and there is lot to be explored. Like mind and ego theory, it's still people are working on it after Corona time. Like
Yeah.
these classes are
yeah,
very much in trend, and must be knowing about law of attraction. Whatever you send in the universe, you get it back. Attracts like, and so still there are a lot of studies going on. And I have given in my thesis a lot of healing techniques like Ho'oponopono, EFT. So many still going on. Work is still going on, and obviously this is the need of the hour, and we are very much in need demand. So if you want me to continue about this healing techniques, I
yeah,
can
yeah,
go
yeah.
forward.
I simply share with you. Uh, Writing research work, it is just a kind of beginning, right?
Yes.
We are going to begin with, and this is the beginning of an odyssey of hermeneutics or interpretation or critique. So this is just the beginning, right? And you have to enter a whole domain of, unpredictables, abnormal psychology. And that's why when we talk about Sigmund Freud, and if you remember, that Sigmund Freud, when he was interviewed, uh, and some critics were asking him about that how he began this kind of great theory, and Sigmund Freud admitted that poets and artists had already begun subconscious much before the psychoanalysts. So when we talk about literature, when we talk about creativity, right? If you remember Maharishi Valmiki, right, and Ramayana, right, and you remember the instance when Valmiki was coming back from bathing in the Ganges, and he finds some hunter coming and killing a he bird, Kronch Pakshi, right? And how out of this situation a new kind of experience emerged. When you read Homer, Iliad and Odyssey, right? So Homer also talks about psychology, right? When you read Shakespeare, who is my research topic, right? I have applied, an Aristotelian approach to Shakespeare, right? So I have read all this. So my point is, when we talk about psychoanalysis as a theory, it was developed by Freud in 20th century. But no writer can do without psychoanalysis. When we are going to create something, when we are going to develop something out of the raw material, we are going to be philosophical, we are going to be psychological, because without understanding the human mind, without understanding the mind of humanity, we cannot create. All right. So actually the whole literature, the whole philosophy, it is it is the ocean of this kind of theory. So the point is how you are going to connect psychoanalysis with now different dimensions, because today we are talking about eco-criticism, we are talking about post-truth, we are talking about postmodernism, right? And we are talking about post-colonial, we are talking about so many marginalized people coming to center. I belong to the place where George Orwell was born. Motihari is the birthplace of George Orwell, who wrote Animal Farm in 1984, right? So George Orwell wrote in the novel, The End of the Animal Farm, all animals are equals, but some animals are more equal than others, right? So you have to also apply what is called, post-Marxian theory, and how classes, how society is rebuilt and reformed, right? And in post-pandemic society, how we find society is undergoing, rapid change, and there are so many different kind of creativity that is coming into being, right? So Sylvia Plath must be redefined, revisited, right? Now if you revisit Sylvia Plath, you have a new kind of experience. Okay, so I call upon you to revisit Sylvia Plath once again for publishing your book, because it is already recommended for publication also. Because when I put your thesis to, plagiarism, it was already checked. But I also checked it in my own university, and I found that it was so well written. It was flawless, and I congratulate Professor Cambodia for this.
I think you need
Yeah, so from my side, I felicitate you and your supervisor, Cambodia sir, and now you are doctor officially. So my best wishes are with you, and I am grateful to you, sir, that you made me present in this, a kind of, I tell you, romantic campus, right?
we are in fact
Yeah,
ambassador.
it is a kind of a romantic campus, because it reminds me of something when we read Kubla Khan. It reminds me of those days. Yeah, something like this.
Something is
Right. You have taken me to a different world when I visited your campus. Right. So, congratulations, best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You said like when he showed you the campus, does it have some eerie environment or what?
No. It is not haunted. It is haunting me, right? I feel haunted by the beauty and bounty of the campus, right?
It is lively,
Yeah.
greenery everywhere.
It is lively and lovely both, right?
Things are on.
Yeah.
life is.
Yeah.
He also
So
enlisted.
that's why everything is worthless.
Ah.
He's
We are
giving
now
tea and
reorganized.
No, no, sir. This
got
is
the
also
snacks,
part
sir.
of life. Hodgepodge is also part of life. I take it as positive, right?
Should be taken as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I think she has been interrogated enough.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. She has been interrogated and congratulations, Shalini.
You asked very good questions, very scholarly questions.